Part 2, baby.
We back.
Back.
We never left, but we back for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Aisha.
I'm Sarah.
And we're hard pressed. Where were you at for that?
I wasn't prepared to do another intro because we just been sitting here recording, so it didn't feel like we were starting a new one. But let's do it again.
No, we gotta.
All right, let's just go then. We're hard pressed. Part 2.
Here we are.
Let's get ready.
Let's get right into it.
Let's move into 2024, baby. It is the last week. Is that right? Is that accurate with the timing? It's the last week of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow. How are we feeling? Are we excited for 2024?
Yes. I just also feel 2023 came and went real quick.
Oh, it did.
Like,
yeah, it did. Every year goes by faster.
it's sad.
It's sad, but it's also kind of encouraging because if you think about it, I mean, yeah, it's been a long year, but really a year is not that long to push through to a goal or to do something hard.
Right.
It's really not in the grand scheme of things.
Right. I'm glad 2023 is coming to an end.
Why?
In the best way. I feel like
Okay.
I did what I needed to do in 2023 and accomplished what I needed to accomplish in 2023, as well as learn what I needed to learn. And I'm ready for the next chapter
Okay.
in the best way. It was a hard year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad 2023 is over too.
It was a hard year. It was a year of plenty of lessons, plenty of growth, plenty of really dark times.
But also really, really bright times.
Yes.
Really beautiful results of the dark times.
Yes. So I'm excited for it to come to an end. I'm happy with how the year went, with everything that came our way. And I'm excited for the next year.
Okay, so on that note, we ended the last episode talking about, the negative habits that we developed in 2023 and we're leaving them behind. Why is it that we were not successful in executing our resolutions?
I think one major factor is the lack of discipline and more focus on instant gratification. Any goal or any achievement takes work, patience, and time and practice.
Yep.
And that all stems from discipline. I've heard this time and time on social media. We're a society of instant gratification.
Absolutely.
So when we plan to lose weight, if we don't have those 5 pounds dropped within the first 2 weeks, it's like, all right, we're done.
We're done.
We lack the discipline to put in the work, especially when we really don't want to. We don't follow through. So
We just give in.
We just give in to this is what I want now versus what I want in a couple months.
And I think that kind of ties into the thing that I experience a lot, and I think what contributed to my failure was the lack of planning. We don't have a clear-cut plan to follow when we do get in those moments where we're seeking instant gratification. We're feeling weak because we want to give in to that, moment where we want something sweet instead of making the right choice with our food decisions. If we have a clear plan, I believe that we're more likely to succeed.
Absolutely.
We have a rule book when we feel like we're going to stray from the path.
And I think that takes a lot of being specific and setting a goal that is measurable. So, for example, losing weight, yes, you want a goal by the end of the year. Set measurable quarterly goals.
So give me an example of what that would look like.
So having 5 pounds down at the end of each quarter is a good benchmark to tell you how your progress is and if you're on the right track. Or if, nope, I need to change and reconsider my current plan if it's working or not.
Right. Or, okay, what didn't work? What did work? Why don't we do that? Why is that a thing that we do it at the beginning of the year and then all year we just go without a check-in or an accountability benchmark
Quarterly check.
Right, to see how are we doing? Are we following through with our plan? Because 3 months go by, you have a long time to adjust for that and make up for the lost time. If you have failed those 3 months, you check in. Oop, I need to do better. Mm-hmm. Hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
We should do that.
We should. I think our listeners should be part of this too. Mm-hmm. Once we discuss our New Year's resolutions and they're out there.
Yeah, let's hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
We're going to do quarterly check-ins this year, guys.
Get ready.
Hold everyone accountable.
We got pen and paper ready to review.
And then it's going to be so cool. This time next year, we're going to be having these conversations, and we're going to have so much positive feedback from you guys and from each other saying, actually, I did achieve my resolutions and then some. I exceeded my resolutions.
I love the community. I already feel it now. It's like, oh my God, you got this.
I just got like goosebumps. Yeah. I'm like, we're gonna do this, guys.
Yes. I think that's a great idea.
Have you started thinking about your 2024 resolutions?
Yeah. One I mentioned last week that I already put in place is the reduction of alcohol consumption. Mm-hmm. That I don't really have a measurable goal for it because I don't really desire to drink. And I have a couple weddings next year and told myself I'll have a glass of champagne to toast the bride and groom. But even that may not happen.
I think that's measurable. That's one glass of champagne. Are you going to completely cut it out? Are you going to have, one social setting every quarter where you drink,
I don't think so. I think it's just the weddings.
You're just going to cut it out unless you're at a wedding and...
Yeah, or wedding. We'll say wedding. I don't foresee myself going to a fancy dinner anytime soon. But even then, I did that. I went to a fancy dinner last week, Friday, and I had a glass of wine. And after, I was like, I could have done without that. Mm-hmm. It tasted delicious. But the feeling right after, I was like, meh.
All right, so you're going to cut out alcohol.
Cut out alcohol, and then just the wedding.
Yep.
A glass of champagne at the weddings.
Okay.
I have 4 weddings next year? 5.
Okay.
5.
So you're going to have 5 glasses of champagne or wine next year. Period. Yes. That's it.
That's it.
All right. Bet. I like it. Mm.
And then meditation. Meditation, whether it be praying, whether it be mindful meditation or breath work. Mm-hmm. I want to do that daily.
What do you think people have to benefit from that?
Oh, so much. Mindfulness, what it's done for me when I am more consistent. Recently, I have not been, but when I'm super consistent about being more mindful, one, I'm able to just be present in a situation and think before I act. Mm. And I tend to push myself to focus more inward of, does this warrant a reaction? Or is it just something I can just address and fix it without getting all worked up about it?
I think so much of mindfulness is the fact that it creates a sense of calm in your brain and in your being. That's what it is for me, is when I force myself to be mindful in a situation, it slows me down. Quite literally slows me down, forces me to think in the moment and have an appreciation for what I'm feeling, what I'm doing, the person I'm communicating with, or the person I'm playing with.
Yeah. I highly recommend, if you don't have some sort of mindful practice, to start that. And mine daily can look like when I'm making my bed, actually make my bed without thinking about anything else but making my bed.
It's as simple as that. That's crazy.
Brushing your teeth, those 2 minutes, feeling where the toothbrush is, how it feels.
Being aware of getting all the teeth.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to cram so much into every possible second of our day.
Yes.
It's so
planning what we're doing, what our day looks like.
Even if you're scrolling on your phone, being mindful about the scrolling.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that.
Yeah.
What else?
This one kind of goes hand in hand. It's fitness and discipline. Mm-hmm. I was not good about my fitness goals this year. I don't have a clear outline yet of what that's going to look like, but I will by the end of the year. Mm-hmm. I want to see what my body can do. I've never been disciplined enough to see what I can achieve. Mm. I'll be disciplined for a month or maybe not a month or 2, but a shorter amount of time. And then life will happen, or I get discouraged.
So you're saying you'll be motivated, and then
No, I don't think it's motivation. I think
Okay.
it's discipline.
Okay. So you know that you have the discipline to do it. You just have to be consistent about
Yes.
applying it.
It's the discipline that needs the work.
Mm-hmm.
So how I know part of that, how I'm going to tackle that is doing more things, not only on the fitness aspect, but doing more things, especially when I don't want to do them, because apparently that actually strengthens the part of your brain that's responsible for that.
Interesting.
So thank you,
Ooh.
Andrew Huberman. That's where I got this from. That's just not my knowledge.
So are you saying the more you practice discipline, the better you are at it?
Yes.
Because
From
it
what
is
I've
quite literally
learned.
like working out.
Yes.
Strengthening
There's
your muscles.
a part of your brain apparently that is responsible for that you can actually train. So brushing or flossing, for example, when you really don't want to floss.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't want to take the garbage out because you don't want to walk all the way to the garbage dump thing. That thing.
The garbage dump thing. Okay. I like thinking about it like that because it's an actual tangible goal.
You know, the more you do it, the more you're going to find it easier to do a little bit of a harder task.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So that's what I'm going to do. My big one is the gym, going to the gym in the morning when I really don't want to. And even if it's not a super crazy workout, but just getting there, waking up regularly in the early morning. Another big thing for the discipline aspect is doing my mindful practice or doing my daily devotional when I'm, speaking of which, I need to do that today, when I'm super busy or just feel like, okay, it's at the end of the night or end of the day, I don't feel like doing it. That's the time to do it.
I like it. So discipline is an overall theme. And I think we saw that a lot I think we definitely saw that a lot in our responses to our Instagram poll when we asked people what their goals for 2024 were. It was very health focused and discipline focused. Discipline when it comes to finances, physical exercise, diet habits, the mental health habits that, things like doom scrolling. Yeah. People really wanted to hone in on that discipline. So I think that's really cool.
Yes. One thing that I'm actually going to try on myself is equating discipline to actually being freeing, having discipline being freedom.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So I think when we say discipline, it means structure, and a lot of the time structure does not equate to freedom.
Right.
But if you think about it in the grand scheme of things or really long term, it is, because what you gain from it is freeing. For example, if I go to sleep and get my 8 hours of sleep daily, but I have to be structured about it, what's freeing about it is I'm not going to be tired. I'm going to feel great. I'm going to have the energy to do everything I want to do during the day and not get the crash at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and not feel that brain fog. So that's freeing.
Yeah, I like it. Where'd you get that from? Or did you just think it up yourself?
No, a couple different places. But the main one that started that conversation in my head is the DYFM podcast. She talked about discipline.
Alexis, Queen of Facts.
Honestly. Those are my two go-tos for podcasts. They're amazing.
What's the second one?
Oh, Andrew Huberman. The Huberman Labs.
Oh, okay.
That's
more of a scientific.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's where I learned about the discipline part of your brain. I forget what it's called. It's like something angular gyrate. I don't know.
Gyrate.
But it's responsible for that process. And the more you train it, the better you get.
It's funny you say that. That actually is a good segue into one of my main resolutions. And I'm not even going to call them resolutions. I'm going to call them pledges.
Hey, yo.
One of my pledges for 2024 is relearning, because I say relearning because we both studied dietetics and nutrition in college. And you probably still know a lot of these things, but I don't. I haven't committed them to my long-term memory. And it's something that I have been very passionate about in the past, but I want to relearn the chemical effects that my food has on my body and my brain. Because I think that is the best possible way to take accountability of what I'm putting into my body and how I'm treating it. Because if I know eating sugar has an addictive effect similar to that of doing drugs, and I'm still willingly doing it, I'm an addict.
You're like, my inner nerd about this stuff is like, I'm having to like
You're like
calm down.
having to suppress it.
Oh, this is my realm.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. And I'm excited for you because I
Yeah.
can be like, oh my God.
That, and it has such a huge effect on your day-to-day function, how energized you are when you wake up, how positive you are, how much brain power you have to commit to your day, and how long that brain power lasts. Mm-hmm. It is quite literally fuel for your body. And if you have a car that takes premium gas and you put regular fuel in it, you are not going to be functioning to your highest potential. And you are actually going to be working against the function of your own body because you need premium fuel. You're only giving yourself regular fuel.
Yeah.
You are quite literally speeding up the process of the deterioration of your body.
Yep.
So I'm really pumped about that one.
I'm excited that you're getting into it because I'm going to geek out with you. Mm-hmm. It's something that's one of mine too, is really just continuing this wholesome food journey that I'm on. And what actually scared me is that I'm in my childbearing years and there's so much that food can play effect to your, I think the term is fecundity, but it literally means like,
can we just say fertility?
No, it's like your ability to get pregnant. Is there an actual specific term for it? I think it's called fecundity.
That's fertility. That is your ability to get pregnant, is your fertility.
But the actual term, like your chance of getting pregnant, is called, I think it's fecundity, but I could be saying
like
it wrong.
Don't like that word.
Hey, I didn't coin it.
Fecundity.
Well, if you say it that way, it sounds
I'm
vulgar.
gonna say it that way.
But
fecundity.
I probably butchered it, but I think that's it. But food is, I'm so passionate about eating very wholesome foods and eating clean ingredients. Know what's in your food.
Right. Take accountability. And that really is going to be one of my themes this year. Discipline and taking accountability. Hold yourself accountable. It's amazing the things that you can do and the changes that you can witness within yourself when you really hold yourself accountable. You know your standards. You know what you can do. And you do it.
Right.
Do the hard thing.
Something powerful that's worked with me for food, and I'm sharing this because I'm hoping this will help you and maybe our listeners. I heard this one time in a podcast that why is it that we continue to eat foods that we know are bad for us or do things that we know are bad for us and don't serve us? And that is because we don't value ourselves. Our self-worth is low.
And that is something, when you said that to me, that is something I didn't write it down, but I put it in my notes as one of my goals, as one of my pledges, is to understand what it means to value myself by taking care of myself when it comes to my food, my exercise. Really, truly understanding and feeling that. Because right now, I don't necessarily feel that. I don't truly believe in my core. I'm not convinced. I don't want to say I'm not convinced, but I don't feel it. I'm not moved by that yet, but I want to be moved by that. And I want that to be my core motivation behind my food intake. Not, I don't have time right now. I have to get this thing done. Not, I want to be skinny. Not, I want something sweet right now. None of that. I want it to be because I know the effects it's going to have on my body, and I value myself enough to prioritize that and consume this food instead of that food.
And I think it'll become really clear to you once you start doing so by the improvement you have from doing so.
Right.
So the behavior, the energy, the mood, the clarity.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I've seen a shift in myself, even with being scared out of eating certain things.
And I think this is applicable because I know it's applicable for everyone, because these aren't just our goals. This is such a common goal for people across the board. The number one goal resolution that people take, I would bet, is fitness related. So let's change the narrative and approach these goals a different way. Instead of just saying, I want to lose this weight, how about you focus inward? Focus on what your food is doing to your body, and the weight's going to fall off naturally. You're going to get stronger. You're going to get slimmer. You're going to feel good and energized.
And have
Let
the energy.
that be a result of what you're doing,
Right.
of your goal. The weight loss should be a result of achieving your goal.
Yep. You'll have the energy to go to the gym, was what I was going to say before I rudely interrupted you.
You know that your bones are literally going to last longer as you grow older if you continue to do weight-bearing exercises. You will be around for your grandchildren because you're doing weight-bearing exercises. That is the stuff that sticks.
Yes.
Not, I want chiseled abs.
Yes. It's like, okay, what is that going to do?
Yeah, congrats. You have chiseled abs. I mean, don't get me wrong.
We all want that.
Right, but do it for the right reason.
Yes. Frame it in, how can I increase my self-worth? And how can I prove to myself that I value myself? And that should be on all aspects of your life, not just the boundaries you set, which are important, or how you move about your personal relationships, but on all aspects: food, nutrition, mental health, physical health, everything. What else you got?
I want to become a morning person. I want so badly to be that person who wakes up, puts their feet on the ground after their first alarm. First one, done, get up. Stop feeling like you could potentially get up on the first alarm, but thinking, oh, I set my alarm with enough time to allow for those 3 more snoozes. So I'm just going to go ahead and sleep through, and then regret it when you wake up and feel more lethargic.
Yep.
And you're rushing in the morning, and then you don't have time for breakfast. Why do we do that? Just get up. That's what I want to do. That is where I find it hardest to have discipline.
Where'd you put your phone at night before you go to bed?
By my bed.
Put it across the room. Forces you to get up.
I can turn it off on my watch.
Put your phone and Apple Watch across the room.
I track my sleep.
Well, you're going to have to make a sacrifice. You can track your sleep once you're a morning person.
You know what? I don't want, I just want to do it. If the phone is next to me, I want to have the discipline enough to do it, even if the phone is next to me.
That's, to me, not good logic, because you can get there, but to start off, it's going to be really hard. Set yourself up for success. That's a manageable goal. It's like you're going to have to get up to get the phone. Yeah. Eventually, you're going to have the phone next to you and be like, boop, yep, I'm up, because your circadian rhythm.
Circadian rhythm.
Your circadian rhythm will be adjusted, and you'll be waking up probably right before your alarm anyway.
Okay.
That's what I do now to be a morning person, because I struggled.
Yeah.
It helps. Because if I put my phone...
But congratulations!
I'm sorry. Thriving in life.
No, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, you sound so thrilled. But yeah, try that. To people who struggle too, it's a great way to force yourself out of bed.
I guess it's simple. You got to think of the little simple steps that are going to help you achieve your goals, instead of creating this. I literally was just creating this grandiose goal that is not specific, not attainable, doesn't have steps to reach that goal, and inevitably would have failed. So thank you.
Here for you.
What a great example.
Yeah. What else?
So this is a relatively new one. And it kind of started when we started recording this podcast. I want to learn to speak with more confidence. And I want to learn the effect that the words I choose, my body language, and the tone of my voice, I want to know and be aware of the effect that that has on people and my delivery. And I have been made more aware of this when listening back to our recordings and also talking to my boyfriend. He is such a confident person. He speaks with intention. Not to say that I don't speak with intention, but when he says something, I listen. Maybe it's because I'm biased and he amazes me. He's one of the most disciplined people I know, and he's a coach. So he naturally has had to develop the ability to speak to people confidently, inspire, and actually clearly relay the information that he's trying to say to them in a way that they can understand. So that's what I want to work on.
That's a great goal.
And I think what goes hand in hand with that is improving my vocabulary.
Yeah.
And instead of saying things like very or really, learn words that can better convey what I'm trying to say in a more direct manner. It's kind of a different one than
I like that.
normal, but I'm excited to have something that's going to help me not only in my personal life, but in my career and just in my own self-confidence.
Yeah. That kind of brought me to one of mine, which is to read 12 books a year. Because that's how I improve my vocabulary.
Really?
Is reading. I love reading.
What kind of books? Nonfiction, fiction?
I alternate. I'll do a fiction, nonfiction. More recently, it's been a lot more nonfiction.
I feel like reading is a thing right now. It is a trend.
Oh, I love reading.
People are obsessed with reading. And you know what? That reminds me. I have book club tomorrow, and I'm probably not going to be able to go. I'm definitely not going to be able to go.
Have you even opened the book?
I have opened it. I've read like a couple chapters.
One
max.
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 I removed myself from it because I knew I couldn't.
But to be honest, I set myself up for failure because they asked if we could all do, it was on Tuesday last month, and they asked if we could all do a date on Wednesday, and I didn't speak up, and I knew that it was a night that I had my daughter, and I didn't say anything. And so I went into this month knowing that I probably would not attend book club.
So you didn't read it?
Right.
Yeah. How can we be successful this year? What are we going to do differently this year?
Well, I think we're starting by sharing our goals. We're actually planning them out, making them specific, and sharing them with people. And it's going to start with that planning process and specifying what we mean and what the real goal is, making it measurable, like you said. So, for example, if I want to improve my vocabulary, learn one new word a week. That's pretty measurable. That's pretty simple, straightforward, and then use it once a day.
There you go. That's a good one.
And then have a notebook where on one sheet of paper you record all those new words. That is pretty straightforward.
Right?
And I can't imagine it takes a whole lot of time.
I don't think so. That's a good one. And that's exactly how I would have gone about that.
What about you? What about for like your mindfulness? Because I feel like that's a little less measurable. How are you going to measure that?
So that one is as long as I have at least 5 to 10 minutes of intentional time set aside for mindfulness.
A day?
A day.
That goal sounds intimidating to me. Isn't that crazy? 5 to 10 minutes of mindfulness sounds intimidating. So what do you do during your 5 to 10 minutes?
It just depends on the day. Sometimes it's meditation. Sometimes it's breath work. Sometimes it's prayer. Sometimes it's my devotional, which I'm actually going to be doing a devotional daily anyway. But I think that'll be separate from the mindful meditation. Here you go.
Sleep.
Yeah. But yeah, 5 to 10 minutes a day. If longer, great. If not, 5 is the minimum. I'll put a timer on my phone. And
Every day.
Every day.
So then how are you going to record that?
I have on my planner, it has like daily habits, and I'll write it and just check it off.
Okay.
I can send you a picture at the end of the week.
Yeah. So when we look through it, Q1.
I'll check.
I'm serious. We should do that.
No, yeah.
Literally should. Yeah. And then we can start is that what Threads is for?
I don't know. I
feel
see it,
so
but I don't know
old.
what it is.
I don't know about Threads.
What is the Threads?
If our younger audience could please fill us in.
Please.
But honestly, that's way too much to keep up with.
Stories. We can just do.
Conversations with our listeners to just check in on that progress. Even if it's just one person, let us know if you guys want to be involved. We could literally start I hate that I'm saying this. Let's start an email thread.
No, please. Let's do just like DM us photos of your progress.
No,
like,
do stories on Instagram. That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Do your stories on Instagram.
And we'll
show
share
us
'em.
proof of these actual recordings.
Our quarterly check-ins.
Oh, quarterly check-ins. We'll give you guys heads up. I like this.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah. Just
we
I'll
will
be
literally
sending you.
post you on our story if you tag us.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be fun.
I like this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Another tip I recommend is journaling what you want to achieve this year. Once you start, you put it to paper, pen to paper, and you write down and be specific.
We're already set for success, people.
I usually do a journal entry with how I want to, the way I speak to what I want to be viewed as, to my fitness goals, to what I want my mood and behavior to. I'm very specific of what I want to achieve or what I want to look like a year from now when I'm writing this journal entry.
So you do one at the beginning of the year and you set that intention very clearly?
Yes. So I'll probably do it like the day, New Year's Eve or the week before, and journal what I want. I'm very specific in the sense of what I'll leave behind, what I want to start, what I want to look like, where I want to be in my life, and what I want to look like on all aspects this time next year. Okay,
so I'll tell you what we're going to do. I want you to create a template of some sort, and we're going to put it on Instagram. We'll make a reel. We'll do a carousel, whatever it is. We're still learning.
A what?
I'm still learning. A carousel. It's like you have like, I think it's just when you post multiple photos. I think that's what it's called. Don't put me on blast.
Don't come for us.
We're still learning. Room to grow. But we're going to put it out there. A template that you guys can use because even I personally want this. I want to know what it looks like. What questions do you ask? Just all those things that you just listed. I want to put it out there for people to use as an example and show us what they came up with.
Yeah.
And then
if they want. Or
yeah,
if it just...
Yeah, if you don't want to, if you're just like...
or even just say like, hey, I filled it out or I did this.
Right.
Feel good after doing that.
Right.
Or don't feel good either way.
Even if you're just thinking about it. I mean, I think that there's a certain significance to writing it down instead of just thinking about it. But however it helps, if it helps, I think that would be a really cool tool to provide.
Yeah, absolutely. I can work on it.
Cool.
Yeah.
You have 1 week.
Challenge accepted.
Okay. But give me at least a week to create the reel. So you have to do it today.
Yeah, okay. No. Boundary putting down. Not today.
Up.
If you guys have any, as we approach, because this episode will come out before the end of the year, give us your tips, your recommendations. If you've been successful in New Year's resolutions in the past, what have you done? How do you want to contribute to this accountability? What's work? Yeah, help us.
I like that. Because now that we're putting our goals out there, I mean, there's a new level of accountability. Because if we look back a year from now and we're recording this same episode,
I'm gonna be pissed.
We've done something very wrong.
Right. I want to talk about all the New Year's resolutions that we achieved.
Right.
I also want to hear you guys' New Year's resolutions on top of the tools that you will use to become more successful.
You guys'.
Use.
Use, guys.
Use. I'm just going to say use.
I like it.
I'll use.
Share I'll use resolution.
And also what you want to leave behind. I know we did a poll on this earlier, but I want to do it again to see if we can get more people involved with what you want to leave behind in 2023.
Yeah, I think we'll ask why. Why do you want to leave that behind? What negative effects did you see as a result of those negative habits?
Another good thing. Write this down. And that way okay, not to do this because this is how it negatively impacted me. I think that brings more attention and awareness to, I remember feeling that way. I don't want to feel that way again.
It gives you a why, which then results in a stronger drive. and ability to have discipline when the motivation runs out.
Email us, tag us on Instagram, on your stories if you decide to partake. Our Instagram is hardpressed.podcast. Our email is hardpressedpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the support and love that you guys have been showering us with. We are very, very thankful for it. Subscribe if you liked what you heard, and really just to continue supporting us because we really appreciate it.
Yeah, it really goes so much further than you guys know.
Yeah. And share it. Share the content. Share the love. Tell a friend about us. Let them be our friends too.
We'll start some sort of referral program.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Down the line.
Exclusive content when you get 5 stars. We'll have little hole punchers and everything.
I know, right?
No, but this is going to be a really successful year. 2024 is our year. This is the year of hard pressed. We are going to be hard pressed to achieve these goals.
I feel it. It's going to happen.
Let's do it. 2024, baby.
We coming for you.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Bye.